point. Only the interception is on the board. At the intermission, the Pittsburgh Steelers 7, the Cleveland Browns nothing. Stay tuned for all the scores on NFL 84. 44 and Charles White 25. 7-0. The Steelers lead it. White at the 2. 10. 15. And caught at the 20-yard line. Anthony Corley, the rookie, number 40 from Nevada Reno, made the tackle.
Statistics for the first half, very even. And as you might expect in a game dominated by the defenses, not really impressive for either offensive team. 2 turnovers, one by each team, one to stop a drive early by the Steelers. As you see the numbers there finally. And the numbers for the Steelers, as we said, well, they've got a little of a disadvantage in terms of total yardage, but their turnover went 69 yards for a touchdown.
Evenly played first half, just one mistake. McDonald comes out throwing and going deep for Holt. He's open, and he's all the way to the 44-yard line. Donnie Shell made the tackle, so Sam Rutigliano came out throwing. 35-yard play. McDonald to Harry Holt.
Talking to Duriel Harris about McDonald, he said if we can give him time, he can throw the football. He certainly throws it well here, right over the fingertips. That's twice today that Rick Woods has had his hands almost on the ball. That one into the hands of Harry Holt.
Make it 36 yards to the 43. Mike Pruitt. And he blasts to the 38-yard line, a gain of 5 before David Little, the younger brother of the former All-Pro guard Larry Little of the Miami Dolphins, made the tackle. The Browns, lowest scoring team in the NFL coming into this contest, and of course were shut out in the first half. But look at the second half, only 7 points in the first 3 games. So they have to turn that number around, or it's 0-4 for them.
They're certainly off to a good start with the first couple of plays of this second half.
First down at the 32. Robin Cole and company making the tackle, but Mike Pruitt, he's one of the best kept secrets in the NFL with 1,000 yards rushing for the past 5 years. The former star at Purdue. Number 56, Robin Cole, slow getting up.
Big collision as Pruitt slams inside. Cole, I think one of the people that he was banged up against. Yes, indeed. In fact, it was a one-on-one smash with Cole that has put Cole on the ground, and he's still sitting there. Pruitt's back in the huddle. Mike Pruitt, as well as he has played, and he's
positive and negative here in Cleveland.
Now, Lambert says he can't really push off, and you see the protection on that foot. The dislocation of that toe, it ended up laying across the other toes, if you can imagine that. He still has a great deal of pain. He does not have much mobility. They hoped he would not have to play today.
McDonald going long. Newsome, what a catch by Ozzie Newsome.
More than anything else, these Browns need to get a few big plays. They need to get some touchdowns under their belt. Newsome doing a great job of forcing Woodruff to cover him and not the ball. You saw him slow down and then at the last second accelerate on that football.
A remarkable reception by Newsome. It's 1st and goal for the Browns. Pruitt diving in, but stopped at the goal line. Well, the NFL films, and they do such an outstanding job of capturing the emotions and the ballet, the beauty of the sport of pro football. They said when it comes to slow motion that Ozzie Newsome is the top ballet dancer in the league. He makes more graceful, incredible plays in midair than perhaps anyone in the league, and there was one of them. That's in the highlight film.
He's on the sideline right now because they're anticipating a running play inside, and they put the big tight ends in there along with number 44, Bahr.
Pruitt again, and he 2, and the Browns unable to get the ball to the goal line. It's 3rd and goal.
We mentioned that stat that is rather surprising, that he has not scored, and you see him shaking his head as the Pittsburgh defense stiffens down on the goal line. They've had 2 shots from just outside the 1-yard line, and they've got about another half a yard to go. 3rd down would be interesting choice for Sam Washington. If they don't make it on this play, would he go for it on 4th down? They've been stopped twice today so far on 4th down.
Ball about a foot away from the goal line. Bahr had to ask for help on the play call. And Pruitt is stopped in the backfield by Donnie Shell and Mike Merriweather. Boy, every time a player comes out of the huddle and has to ask the quarterback for some extra help, the play invariably goes awry. And so it was there, a mix-up, and the Browns field goal unit comes on.
The Browns have made good yardage over the right side of that Pittsburgh defense, but on that play, John Goodman, 95, powered over the top of the tackle and stacked the play up deep in the backfield. Looked like he had that call all the way, and Sam says field goal. Take the short points, and they've got 3.
Matt Bahr, not exactly an approving call by Retigliano, so the Browns come out and from the 2-yard line are unable to penetrate the Steeler defense for a touchdown and are forced to settle for 3. Todd Spencer, Anthony Corley are deep as Steve Cox will kick it off. Beautiful kick. And Spencer will not run it out. First down for the Steelers at their own 20.
Today's game is brought to you by
Sellout crowd. A tense defensive battle. 7-3. The Steelers lead it. Woodley to Lips. He fumbles, and the Browns have recovered at the 47-yard line. Cousineau gets the ball.
With all the excitement of young Louis Lips, he's had a propensity to fumble the football 4 times last week, and Don Rogers, the young rookie out of UCLA, gets him to cough it up here as he streaks up and smacks that ball right out of Louis' hand.
So the Browns, trailing 7-3, have it on the turnover at the Steeler 47. Behind McDonald. Flag down as McDonald finds Ozzie Newsome at the 40-yard line. Check the ball.
Boy, McDonald really took a shot, and the flag is on Boyce Green, number 30, who literally tackled Robin Cole. Cole would have been all over McDonald before he got that ball out. Boyce Green just nailed onto his legs and tried to hold him down, and that's a costly foul.
Second holding call on Green today.
Holding, number 30, offense, still first down.
You'll see it right here. Number 56, Robin Cole, is the man that's coming in. You see him flying through the screen, and look at the arm right around his waist, right there, and then the dive. He's got him by the leg now. I mean, that's Boyce is on. He's playing defense there, doing a tackling job.
Paul McDonald says, "I need some help, fellas," but
that's
not
not the kind. No. And you don't, in a way, it's hard to blame Boyce Green. His job to protect that quarterback, and I think Cole would scare me if I were in there.
Ball goes back to the Cleveland 43. First down and 20. And a short yardage play to Ozzie Newsome. Sam Washington, the man who intercepted McDonald and returned it 69 yards for a touchdown. Jets trailing 13-0 early, have scored 3 straight times, 21-13 in the third quarter. Washington leading New England 20-0. Seven to 3. The Steelers trying to move even further ahead in the FC Central. Second and long. Jerry Dunn, 67, ready for the charge. backfield to Pruitt. Hit at the 43-yard line. Tackled by Dwayne Woodruff, the left corner. 8-yard play.
The one good sign that you see down there is that the pressure has usually come off the blitz, Dick, which means that the Cleveland offensive line is picking up the 3- and 4-man rush pretty effectively. And whenever you have to blitz, you force the one-on-one coverage on your defensive backs. That should give McDonald some opportunities to hit those people and perhaps to hit them deep.
Third and 7. Wide open is Green. 30, 20. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Stat, a happy Sam on the sideline. The blitz was on. They threw everybody in. The Browns picked it up, and someone blew the coverage on Boyce Green, who was all alone down the sideline. 44 yards for a touchdown.
Matt Bahr trying to tack on the extra point. A disgruntled Chuck Noll not happy with that play. So Cleveland so ravenously hungry for a score finally delights this huge Cleveland audience. I don't know what the delay is here. I guess some of the fans throwing things down from the
Someone
crowd.
had thrown a streamer out into the field that was out over the top of the goalposts.
Bahr completes the 7-point play.
Quick look again. The blitz. Here they come. They got just about everybody coming. They're stacking them up inside, and there's Green. No one even around. He's all by himself. He sees the goal line, and he's got himself a touchdown.
The Browns, after the fumble recovery, have scored and lead for the first time 10-7. Third quarter, 10-7 Browns as Cox will kick it off. Spencer waits in the end zone. He's taking it out. In trouble. He fumbles. Who's got it? It appeared that he lost the ball for a moment. Ernest Biner made the tackle. The Browns think they have the fumble, and now the countering point from the white jerseyed Steelers. Pittsburgh does maintain possession at the 15.
The Browns special teams that really fell apart and deserted them in the first game against Seattle certainly have come on strong here in the second half.
Holding number 84, receiving team on the return.
The rookie Kolocheski from Wyoming, and that puts the ball just outside the Pittsburgh 7-yard line.
Turnovers. They'll kill you on offense. You can feed off them defensively. And of course the Browns able to capitalize on that last one and get the 7 after being so disappointed on the prior one. Let's see if their defense is still hot.
David Woodley facing that desperation Cleveland Brown defense. Intended for Lewis Lips, and he was well covered. Cousineau, boy, is he a slim-looking linebacker at 6'3" and 225. Look at the waist on him. Number 1 pick by Buffalo.
Not much extra body on him. Much in the same style of body form as Jack Lambert. Neither he nor Lambert really seem to carry the bulk, but they play an emotional game, and they survive with body position and good strength.
2nd and 10 from the 7. Woodley. Out of bounds Lips had already gone out of bounds, so even had that ball arrived to the rookie receiver, it would have been no play. The official tossing his cap to indicate that Lips had gone out of bounds and thus was an ineligible receiver.
You might say that was a bad pass. No way. Woodley threw that ball away, showing his maturity. He's not going to take a chance on that one. Perhaps he too had seen the hat on the sideline, but he threw it out of bounds.
A Kemp to Brown pass. That's Ron Brown. The Olympic sprinter has given the Rams a 14-7 lead at Cincinnati, third quarter.
They'd like to have Ron Brown here in Cleveland.
Out of the backfield, incomplete to Ehrenberg, broken up by Rodgers. There's the young man you saw in the Rose Bowl on NBC. He had 2 interceptions. Rodgers, he's all over the field.
He's not afraid to put his helmet in there. An intimidating kind of defensive back. He's one of the 3 new faces in that secondary. And watch right here as he levels Rich Ehrenberg. I'll tell you, receivers, even if they don't want to be sensitive to that, have to hear him coming.
Duriel Harris is at the Pittsburgh 47 as Colquitt has not kicked well, and it's another poor kick away from Harris. Takes a good Steeler roll and out of bounds at the Cleveland 49-yard line. Colquitt obviously is not 100%.
He's not 100%, and that's good field position for the Browns again. They're getting their opportunities here in the second half.
73 Deacon at left tackle. First down for the Browns at their own 49. Boyce Green had not looked for the ball. Robin Cole was on top of him. Rain continues to fall. 10-7 Cleveland. Let's go to New York.
All right, Dick, let's talk baseball. The Cubs scored 6 times in the top of the 4th in St. Louis. Big hit, bases loaded double by Gary Matthews. All 3 runners come home. Now they're in the 8th. It's 8-1 Cubs behind Steve Trout. If they win 2 today in St. Louis and the Mets lose, the Cubs clinch the National League East. But the Mets behind Dwight Gooden lead Montreal 2-1 in the 5th at Shea Stadium. Dick.
All right, Bob, here's Mike Pruitt fighting to the 47 of the Steelers, where it'll be 3rd down and 6. Here in this third quarter, the Browns took the kickoff to start the half, marched down to the 1-yard line, had to settle for a short field goal by Bahr to make it 7-3. And then the Steelers' Lips fumbled when hit by Rodgers. Cousineau covered at the 47 of Pittsburgh. A couple plays later, McDonald hit a wide-open Boyce Green, a 44-yard touchdown along the right sidelines. Cleveland has captured the momentum of this second half and leads 10-7, 3rd and 6. Green. And he may have the first down. He's very close at the 41.
Well, we talked about an old set of legs down there that belonged to one Doug Deacon, dean of the offensive line, number 73. He's pulling to lead this play. This is not his strength, but he pulls out the stops when it comes to a Steeler game as well. Number 93, Keith Willis over there. Deacon got a piece of him, not enough to keep him out of the play, and it's going to be very close. Looks like just a little bit short, and Sam has another choice to make. He sends in the big bulls.
Oh, that's a surprise. You got the lead 10-7, a wet field, and rather than try to pin the Steelers deep, apparently Sam is going to go for the first down on 4th down.
Maybe he figures the law of averages is on his side. He's missed it twice early in this ball game, and we said it early, Dick. This is a desperation game for these Cleveland Browns. There's no sense playing it safe here. Go for it.
Except they'd missed twice on 4th and 1, and they couldn't score from the 2 on the goal line. This time as Pruitt is to the 39-yard line, and hard running by the veteran Pruitt.
Dwayne Woodruff, number 49, actually had a hold of Pruitt in the backfield. If Pruitt was a less sturdy ball carrier, he might not have made it. Watch him now. You'll get a look at him. Donnie Shell diving inside. I guess it was one of the linebackers, 56, Robin Cole, that actually had a hold of him. Woodruff was just outside of Cole.
Ernest Biner, 44, the rookie from East Carolina, threw a key block at the point of attack. First down Cleveland, 6:25 left, third quarter. Browns lead by a field goal. McDonald from behind by Gary Dunn, number 67, the nose guard from Miami of Florida. But he picks up a few yards, about 4.
And that's a positive note. Not trapped in the backfield, even though he is not a fast runner. You don't have to be a fast runner to save yourself those tragic yards of the sack. He got out of there, got it back beyond the line of scrimmage. Instead of being second, 13, 14, 15, they're looking at a 2nd and 7.
Cleveland leads. 5.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Boyce Green. And a flag down as Green is to the 31-yard line. Sam Washington made the tackle. Other scores, Jets leading by 5. Danilo, a 26-yard field goal. Danilo has 3 field goals in the game. 1 a 52-yarder. New Orleans leading St. Louis by 6. Richard Todd has thrown his 2nd touchdown pass to Hobie Mitchell.
Looks like the Markov will be back against the Browns on that play.
Holding, number 84, offense, still 2nd down.
Ricky Bolden.
Duriel Harris.
Excuse me, 84. 88, Bolden. Now, Duriel Harris, that's an unusual call to find a wide receiver holding on that play. Must have been after the run began downfield. He was blocking.
2nd and 16. Shell 31 timing his move perfectly. And listen to the impact. If I don't know if we can replay something and hear the sound. It's a shame we can't, because you could hear it all the way upstairs.
That's over 100 yards from where we are. You could hear that as if we were right next door. Donnie Shell right there, and I mentioned experience. That timing so perfect that the ball and Shell arrive simultaneously.
Shell and Jack Lambert are the only members left from that famed steel curtain defense of the Super Bowl Steelers. Ricky Feature, he's been injured, is in the game. He's wide to the right. 3rd and long. Incomplete to Feature. McDonald knocked down again as he delivered the ball.
We don't always count the number of times a quarterback is hit, but every hit on that quarterback means something. It takes a little bit out of him and also causes him to have to become even more conscious of that rush.
Last week after the Denver game, he said, I left the stadium. My wife said, what's the matter with you? He says, weren't you counting? Sacks and just hits. He was battered and bruised. Lips back at the 10-yard line. Cox kick. Takes a Steeler bounce into the end zone, and on the touchback, Pittsburgh will begin at their 20-yard line. 5 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Cleveland Browns 10, Pittsburgh Steelers 7. Oh, game of the week coming up next Saturday. NBC's baseball game of the week. Sustained an offensive drive since very early in the game, when that particular drive ended at the 20-yard line, Cleveland territory, on a fumble by Ehrenberg. They begin at their own 20. Veals, and that swarming Browns defense stops him for no gain. Reggie Camp from University of California, 96, led the charge. A time to test your football mind. 1953 the year, a 21st round draft pick of the Cleveland Browns. He played for 7 years here in Cleveland, 5 conference titles, 2 NFL championships. He's on the field today. And you name him. We'll give you the answer in a couple of plays. 2nd and 10. Fall on their own mistake as the handoff to Ehrenberg was dropped, and that'll be a loss of a couple.
Handoff to Ehrenberg was erratic. And, Go back and take a peek at it. Number 24, bright young rookie, looking inside, has got to accept that football. He was quickly on top of it. Banks quickly on top of him. And look how many brown shirts in there. Very aggressive defense.
Redskins 23-7 at New England at Foxborough. Mosley has just kicked another field goal. 3rd and 11. Flags are down, and that's going to be interference against the Browns as they went to the big, tall rookie, Weegee Thompson. Willis Jr., thank you, from Florida State.
Lawrence Johnson, number 48, been victimized. In fact, lost his starting position as a result of a couple of bombs last week.
What's a big play for Pittsburgh? It would have been 4th down from their own 19.
Takes a lot of the heat off of them. And Dick, it's one thing we have to remember about this Steeler offense. Woodley calls better than half of his own plays. One of the few quarterbacks in the league to do it. There you saw the contact. Lawrence Johnson, or not Lawrence. Is that right?
Johnson is right.
Lawrence Johnson. It didn't sound right all of a sudden.
Good fake by Woodley. A wobbly pass to Stallworth. And knocked away by Hanford Dixon.
The point I was making is that Woodley calls a very high percentage of his plays, able to get that one deep, and he has gotten the ball deep more often than I think than just about any quarterback in the NFL this year. In fact, when you look at the receivers coming into this game, 34 passes were to the wide receivers, a very high percentage of them deep, and only 22 to the rest of the offensive roster. So Woodley likes to get it wide. Most teams now throwing a much higher percentage to the tight ends and to the running backs.
And for the Steelers, his targets are outstanding. The veteran Stallworth, the rookie Lips, and the man for whom that last pass was intended, 6'6" Weegee Thompson, who has become the number 3 receiver for Pittsburgh. Great protection. Oh, Woodley all day. And there's Thompson. He's got it, and a 1st down at the Cleveland 29. What protection for Woodley.
Excellent protection on that 26-yard reception. And you saw Thompson, Weegee Thompson earlier, his job when the quarterback's in trouble, get open. Find a place to catch the ball. Frank Minifield, 31, is running around back there, but when you give a quarterback time to throw, and he earned that time with the rollout, it's awfully tough to play man-to-man back there.
Veteran Harold Carmichael now with the Cowboys. Second is Thompson to Carmichael, the great veteran, in height. The Steelers close to field goal range. 1st down at the 29. Deals. Chip Banks got him first, and Cousineau finished him off.
Banks, angry at himself, got excellent position on the outside and then missed the tackle, but good pursuit inside out, and that is always the mark of great defense, as Cousineau there to push him out of bounds and just a short gain on the play. But the Steelers moving the ball for the first time here in the second half. They're approaching scoring territory, and they've become to be a little concerned. Neither of the field goal kickers has played well this year. Gary Anderson, one of the best football past few years, has not kicked well, nor has his counterpart Bahr for the Browns.
Wide open is Thompson. What a play by Frank Minifield. He was beaten, recovered, and knocked it away. You know, Merlin, that's like a big forward taking a smaller defender inside. Here's Minifield, a real mismatch in height, almost a foot difference.
Minifield likes to play the bump and run, and Thompson giving him a little fake to the outside, showing us excellent speed, and Minifield stretching with every ounce of fiber. He's giving up about 5 inches in that matchup, maybe even more than that.
More than that, but more like 9 inches. He's only 5'9", and Thompson 6'6".
As far as he stretched on that play, he might be taller now.
Well, great vertical leap. 3rd and 9. Behind Stallworth. He was open, but the pass was behind the veteran receiver. And now Gary Anderson Anderson will come in to try a long field goal that would tie.
Woodley knows that he threw that one poorly. Ball thrown behind an open receiver. Stallworth had working one-on-one on Minifield, had broken inside and got open, but Woodley missed him with the pass.
Look at that. Only 4 misses all last year for Anderson. He's missed 5 times this year. This is a 46-yarder. It is perfect. And we have a tie game as Anderson hits it cleanly from 46 yards.
If you're a Steeler, or
that featured a brilliant reception by Ozzie Newsome, as you see the Jets ahead by 2, but they had to settle for a field goal, did the Browns, when they couldn't punch it in from inside the 2 in 3 tries. 7-3. Then a McDonald to Boyce Green 44-yard touchdown made it 10-7. Anderson's field goal of 46 yards has tied it up, and Bahr will not run it out. First down at the 20-yard line. 5 in the white uniform, making a horse collar tackle, and there he is. Hey, a good looker too. Chuck Noll, now the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Boyce Green cut down by Robin Cole at the 20-yard line.
That's the kind of play that very often will result in a fumble. Dwayne Woodruff, number 49, had gone back outside of the field and chopped back inside. Yeah, there's Chuck on the sideline. He's still not a bad-looking fellow, even after all these years. You can't tell he's changed a bit.
52 years old now. Now is Chuck Noll in his 32nd year of pro football, 16th year now as head coach of the Steelers. That's hard to believe. 16 years already.
21 years as a coach. That's a long time.
McDonald going long for Holt, and Holt makes the catch. A flag is thrown. The deep judge downfield threw the flag so hard that he lost his footing and went down, and Holt injuring a shoulder, it appears, or no, I guess it's the midsection as he made that catch. Let's see if it counts.
Go back and take a peek at it ourselves as you watch him gather that football in, stretching all the way out. The flag already thrown, and Holt cradling that ball to his stomach. He came down hard on the ball, knocked his wind out. McDonald under pressure, a good job of getting that ball off, and I'll go back to what Duriel Harris said earlier. He said, you give him a little time, he can throw that football. Watch him here. Feels the pressure, a little step back, and then takes the shot to the head. That's Hinkle, number 53, that cracked him.
Throw it back to the live action, gets 2 to make it 2nd and 8 at the Pittsburgh 46-yard line. 10-all tie with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
One thing, and we mentioned it earlier in this half, Dick, that the Browns offensive line has been able to contain the 3- and 4-man rush. They forced the Steelers to go to the blitz, and then they burned them for the touchdown pass against the blitz. Got to see what's going to happen here. Will they continue to try and get to him with a normal rush?
Wide open is Newsome, 35-30, down at the 29. Washington and Shell make the tackle, but Newsome has another 17 yards for the Browns.
2 linebackers blitzing on the last play. Cleveland offensive line did a good job of picking them up. Little extra room for Ozzie Newsome. Ozzie Newsome did a good job of picking up the first down.
Newsome, who has caught a pass now in 70 consecutive games. He was second to Todd Christensen last year. He had 89 grabs, 3 less than Christensen, who led the league. Going for it all to Green at the 2-yard line.
McDonald may be doing what he needed to do most. to have a good ball game, to shake the critics off his back. He does something here he'd had trouble with. Look at the little roll here. Feels the pressure from number 56, Cole, gets away from it, and throws a perfect strike to Boyce Green. Green did a good job of hanging on to that football in traffic.
Donnie Shell had fallen, but still made the tackle. Perfect throw. First and goal will be the story from the 3-yard line. And the Browns fans cheer their Cleveland heroes. We'll be back with the 4th and final quarter after these words from your local station. Decision after only 3 weeks play. The Browns looking for their first win. Although they'd be but 1-3 if successful, they would be just a game out of first place. Desperation has been the story.
10-10. The Browns would like to put the points on the board here.
McDonald perhaps noting past history, and the Browns' failure to score from first and goal at the 2, had to settle for a field goal, comes out passing on first down. Great third quarter for McDonald.
McDonald hammered hard in the first half of this game, has really come back and earned some stripes here, earned a great deal of confidence. 199 yards, 8 for 11. He'd love to get another one right now and some points attached to it.
46 of those yards, check that, 44 of them on a touchdown pass to Boyce Green. Ozzie Newsome was well covered by Woodruff.
Smart defensive play by the Steelers. They disguised their defense. McDonald thought he was going to see one thing, and at the last second, you saw them shifting. Let's watch what Newsome does on this play. Brennan coming inside, and it's Newsome has got to be the hot receiver on that play. He's a little late turning around. Either that or McDonald's a little early firing the ball out. Ozzie never had a chance. Had his back of his helmet to the quarterback.
Harris to the left, the rookie Brennan to the right. Third and goal. Harris, touchdown, Duriel Harris.
Second leading receiver in Miami Dolphin history. Duriel Harris has come here to Cleveland to make his mark. Some big plays last week in the first half against Denver, but none of them perhaps as big as that 6-pointer right here in the third quarter.
His first catch and his
Fourth
today,
quarter.
and
We're in, aren't we, Nick? Excuse me.
his first touchdown as a Cleveland Brown. He caught 18 touchdown passes as a Dolphin, second only to Nat Moore, an all-time Dolphin receiving, as you pointed out. And here it is, a diving catch for the lead.
Perfectly thrown. It has to be, because the coverage by Washington is aggressive and right on the mark. But look how hard he squeezed that ball and how close it came to popping out.
Yards on that drive, and Cleveland leads 17-10. We'll show you again the catch by Harris. You don't have to catch the ball with your hand around the point of it for it to be a touchdown, but he was delicately inside the line, according to the official, as he caught it. Spins down to the rookie Spencer. First down, Pittsburgh at their 20. Let's go back to the touchdown reception by Duriel Harris.
Harris taking that ball right over the top of the outstretched hands of Sam Washington. Watch him as he comes down and hits the ground. He's clutching the ball, and look how close it is to bouncing away from him.
And that's a sideline right there that he skidded over, and a tough call. I think you could play that many times, and you wouldn't want to be the official making the judgment.
We're playing that in slow motion. Remember that. It happens an awful lot quicker than that.
Now, the Steelers have not had good field position. Clay Matthews collars the tackler.
Be home without it.
rookies making contact at the Pittsburgh 25. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Benefield, one of the players obtained out of the USFL, played out in Phoenix for George Allen's team. They're happy to have him here. Aggressive. He'll come up and put his helmet on you. Can run. He's shown us some toughness today, Dick.
He saved a touchdown. Remember that diving stop against Thompson inside the 5. The deflection at the Pittsburgh 40.
Well, they say turnabout is fair play. The 3rd Steeler turnover, and this one off the hands of Louis Lips. Lips thought the defender was going to catch it, and Al Gross goes up like a center fielder to bring it down.
Credit the coverage by Hanford Dixon forcing that deflection. Here from Arizona, drafted by the Cowboys a year ago. He's given the Browns the ball at the Pittsburgh 40. 17-10. Cleveland leads. 13 minutes left. 4th quarter. McDonald's been hot. Newsome out of bounds at the 20, and Ozzie has 20
for the reception.
Boyce Green caught in the backfield. Looked to be Dwayne Woodruff, who had penetrated from a corner, 49, and then Cole finished him off.
Woodruff up aggressively on the outside and made a fine play. Browns hoping that they could spring a little running play to get things back together.
Sellout of some 80,000 fans at Cleveland Stadium. As we said, many of those have migrated here from Pittsburgh. While they had their chance to cheer early, it's been the Browns who have outplayed Pittsburgh in the second half and are trying to add to a 17-10 lead. Green with a flag down. David Little and Mike Merriweather, pair of Pittsburgh linebackers, with a tackle.
Little's name has been called many times on tackles. As you see the holding call pointed off toward the Browns. He is the leading tackler in relief of Lambert, who's been out with that toe injury. He's had 23 tackles on the season, and
82 offense, still 2nd down.
well, that's almost like that call we got on Duriel Harris earlier. That's Stallworth, 82 out there holding. Wide receivers, and that's a good, now that's a negative stat in a way. You hate to see mistakes, but when your wide receivers are working hard, that's Newsome, excuse me, wide receiver Newsome. Come on, Merlin, get on the right side of the line of scrimmage there.
2 great ones wearing 82 here.
Ozzie doing a good job, obviously, of trying to get into the play. He wants to help, and in doing so, he cost him a 10-yard spot on the penalty.
Look at that second half. 249 to 55, the yardage in favor of the Browns. Pruitt, 25, he's to the 23. A flag is down, and the Steelers may have been offside.
Keith Gary, number 92, had anticipated the count and jumped off sides. That's interesting. Do you take the yardage? You're well down beyond what you'll have on the penalty, but maybe the down is more important than the yardage here. Let's see what Sam decides to do.
Well, while they decide, we'll add this piece of drama. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Cleveland Browns and the National Football League is prohibited.
Well, indeed, their decision is to take the mark off on the penalty, and as I suggested, I believe because they don't want to give up the down.
92, defense, still 2nd down.
I'm going to run down the scores real quickly here. 21-19, the Jets over Buffalo. These are all 4th quarter scores. Washington 23-10 against New England. Rams 17, Cincinnati 7. San Francisco 14, the Eagles 9. St. Louis 21, New Orleans 20. Atlanta 35, Houston 10. Minnesota 26, Detroit 21. Those are all in the 4th quarter. And with a bit more than 12 minutes left in Cleveland, The Browns lead the Steelers 17-10. Nothing there for Boyce Green. Gary Dunn, whose granddaddy was the president of University of Miami for some 27 years. His dad and another brother also played along with Gary at Miami of Florida. .28-yard line. Pruitt bringing in perhaps a suggestion from Rotigliano. Third down, about 17. McDonald fumbling the snap at the 31, and that creates a long field goal situation for Matt Bahr.
Bahr, who had only hit 1 out of 4 coming into this game, got the short chip shot early. He's 2 for 5. He'd love to sink a long one, if you will.
Well, this is really a big one. McDonald has needed a big game, and so has Bahr.
So has Bahr, yeah. And Sam Rotigliano said it. He said, Matt's a thoroughbred. He said, you don't take him out of the lineup. You don't even talk to him. He'll work hard. He works on his style. He's not kicking the ball badly. He just has not been connecting like he did last year.
48-yard try. And he has got it. Now the Cleveland Browns, who had scored only 7 points in the second half all year, have 20 in the second half today.
And there's the long shot. If you're looking at Sam Rotigliano's shopping list, 2 of the things on that list, McDonald needs to have a good day, and Bahr needs to hit a long field goal. So far, he's 2 for 2.
Todd Spencer at the other end. Good return to the 33-yard line for the rookie from Southern California. Hanford Dixon made the tackle. 32-yard return.
When you're coming down on the special teams, you've got to have determination. You've got to keep coming after them. Jim DeMont, 53, coming down wide open, gets away from Elton Veals, gets around a second blocker on the ground. Didn't make the stop, but he's down there putting a squeeze on. He's trying to give it his best anyway.
First down, Steelers trailing 20-10 at their 33. 11 minutes left. Ehrenberg drops the ball.
Keith Baldwin leveling Woodley on that play. Woodley slow getting up.
Next week on NBC, our NFL coverage, early games after NFL 84 at 12:30 Eastern Time. Miami at St. Louis. Patriots and the Jets fight it out. AFC East, and Buffalo will be in Indianapolis against the Colts. The late game after Seattle, Minnesota, and Cleveland, Kansas City, the Raiders and the Denver Broncos. Keith Baldwin, Golick were not fooled, nor was Cousineau.
Pittsburgh offense, and I'm sure coordinator Tom Moore is going to be discouraged with what's happening today, but Larry Brown, right tackle, hurt early. They've had to keep rolling people in and out of that ball game. They've shifted around. This last play saw 2 rookies in there, Snell and Long, both in there. Right now, Tunchilkin is in at the right tackle, and Ray Snell is in at the left tackle.
Snell was the #1 draft pick of Tampa Bay in 1980. He came to the Steelers for Steve Corson. Oh my! How did he hang on to the ball? Louis Lips, that young man who has fumbled earlier and gets 7 yards, and the punishment is he is sandwiched and still clutches the ball, but not enough for a first down as Matthews and Dixon hit him.
The reason he's been so well received by his teammates is partially because of his toughness. He not only has athletic skills, he'll take the shot, hang on to the football. Ooh, that's Clay Matthews, 57, showing you why he's so tough.
They're going to go for it. 4th down and 2 at their own 41. Aaron Bird doesn't make it. The Browns will take over on downs. And here come some flags. Some extra wrestling. Aaron Bird lost his helmet in the fray. He's just now getting up at the other side, back at the line of scrimmage.
Dick, this will be a dead ball foul, I think. I think the action taking place after the fact, and Al Gross, I believe, the guy who banged the football off the helmet of one of the Steelers officials sorting it out, but I don't think it will change possession on the football. Particularly Ono out to get his troops off the field, and that's the kind of emotion that we had anticipated for this game. It's been held in check to this point, but the frustration on sensing that they had not made that first down erupted on the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul, he says.
He says it's going to go against both teams.
Thank you, Sam.
Well, Eddie Johnson celebrating. There's the shot right there that got the penalty on the other team. Gross throwing the football late. That's Greg Wolfley, 73, but I think there had already been a foul called against the Steelers at that point.
Personal foul, 72.
Yeah, got the wrong side, I think.
27,
there you
Cleveland.
go. Yeah.
Disqualification. Personal foul, 72. Pittsburgh. Disqualification. Penalties offset. First down.
Well, if it was 72, it's Ray Snell and not 73 Wolfley, and they've taken a little more bite in this penalty rather than just saying negating penalties.
Well, not only that, but when you kick Snell out of the ball game with Brown already hurt, you further incapacitate an offensive line that's occupied or having to work with a lot of makeshift people in there.
Well, while they sort out the battlers, it'll be Cleveland's ball when we return at the Pittsburgh 42.
Gross will have to watch the rest of this game on the sideline and will not be able to help their teammates. Let's go back and take a quick peek at it on the field. The penalty had already been called on Snell, and right here, Gross delivers the football to the helmet of one of the Steelers. That's what got him thrown out of the game. Wolfley is after him, the handkerchiefs flying and by the dozen out there, but neither coach happy with that situation.
Well, from the tumult of Cleveland Stadium, let's go to the sanctity of our studios in New York.
What a splendid introduction, Mr. Enberg. The magic number for the Cubs is down to 2 in the National League East. They beat the Cardinals in the first game of a doubleheader at Busch Stadium today, 8-1. Steve Trout winning his 13th. But at Shea Stadium behind Dwight Gooden, the Mets are making it tough on the Cubs, leading Montreal 5-1 in the 7th. Dick.
All right, Bob, and don't forget here on NBC, with the American League Western Division pennant race still hotly contested at NBC Sports. They have not announced the games that they will be televising next Saturday, but you can be certain it'll be those that involve the final games of the pennant fight, and then the World Series, where it belongs here with the Peacock in October.
Dick, as you look at the two coaches, I'm sure that Chuck Noll is perhaps questioning having to throw those two players out of the game. He is obviously, I think, concerned about the fact that he's going to play short 2 tackles through the last part of this game, but well, he's not happy at all. The other thing, I was very curious at that call, going for it with 2 yards on 4th down, uncharacteristic of Noll, who is a most conservative coach.
And with 9.5 minutes remaining. Now Cleveland takes over on downs. Pruitt. And the Cleveland offense is very much alive, thank you, here in this second half. Let's run down all the scores for you. These are the early games today. The Jets now lead Buffalo 28-19. All fourth quarter scores. 26-10. Oh, it's a final. The Redskins have beaten the Patriots. Rams lead by 3 at Cincinnati. 21-9. The unbeaten 49ers at Philadelphia. 24-20. St. Louis leads at New Orleans. Houston is apparently going to lose its fourth in a row, 35-10 in Atlanta. 23-21 Minnesota, and the Lions in a dogfight at the Silverdome. You're up to date. Here it's 20-10 Cleveland. 2nd and 4. Pruitt picking his way through a hole, and I believe he has a first down at the Pittsburgh 31. Goodman and Donnie Shell made the tackle.
Two young linemen working in there for the Browns. Bill Kant, 75, and Paul Farron, 74, in at tackles. And on the inside, some real veterans. One of them, 64, Joe DeLamalure, made a fine block on that last play. You know, they asked Joe in training camp, so what's the biggest difference between now and when you started? He said, well, one thing, he says, you see the big cars in the parking lot now. He said they used to belong to the veterans. Now they belong to the rookies.
They're getting the big bonuses. First down, Pruitt up the middle, and suddenly the Browns are chewing up big chunks on the ground with the bull-like rushes of Pruitt. Donnie Shell and Cole with a tackle, but not until Pruitt had added 6 more to his individual total.
Green outside, Pruitt inside. McDonald throwing the ball well. Things are beginning to work for Joe Scannella and the offense of this Cleveland Brown team.
The Browns, who had not rushed well at all this year, over the 100-yard mark.
It's particularly impressive since Steelers are 3rd in rushing in the NFL.
Not much there this time as Robin Cole wraps his arms around the ball carrier Pruitt with 7:08 left in the 4th quarter.
Well, I mentioned 2 of the things that are on Sam Rutigliano's shopping list. The long kick by Bahr to restore his confidence. A good game for McDonald. Final thing on that list, and certainly the most important, he wants a victory today. We said desperate. Well, things are not quite so desperate now. You're up 10 points. You've got the football. Now you just start thinking about controlling the ball, eating the clock, and perhaps getting some more points on the board here.
3rd and 3. McDonald wide open as Newsome. He tripped, but they say no interference, that was an accidental trip. He was wide open at beating Sam Washington.
We mentioned that Washington would be tested. He's the new guy on the block. They're going to go after him. Newsome had gotten clean. The officials ruled that to be incidental contact. No question it had stripped Ozzy's legs out from underneath him. That's one you want to look at in the films.
Ozzie Newsome has had another big day for the Browns. 5 catches, 99 yards, and 1 a splendid diving catch that set up the first score, a field goal. It's low, but it is no good. Off to the left as Bahr lost his footing on that 42-yard attempt. And so the score remains a 10-point difference, and the Steelers will get the ball with 6:34 left.
Watch Bahr's plant foot as it slips right out from underneath him. As he begins to swing clear, the plant foot just slides out and pops free. No chance for that football.
It's amazing, though. He had the distance, even though it was a line drive, but hooked it to the left. So the Browns, who had really struggled to get anything in the second half, scoring 7 in 3 games in the second half, have 20 this afternoon, 10 in each quarter. Woodley to the wide open Stallworth, and I think we're going to get a roughing the penalty on Chip Banks. Really hit Woodley after the throw, so they're going to tack on another 15 from the 46-yard line.
Now that's a stupid mistake. Banks knew. He kept his back to the official. He knew he'd hit Woodley late. You'll see it right here. He came in. Woodley had thrown the pass. Banks had time to change his course. Now watch this. The ball is gone. Banks can slow up. He can move off. He doesn't have to hit Woodley. Look at him. He keeps his back to the official, I think hoping that the call would not be made.
But referee Dick Jorgensen on the spot to toss the
2 touchdown passes in each of the first 3 games.
Scoop Gillespie, another rookie, is in the backfield for Pittsburgh. That's Gillespie with the ball. He's got it to the 30-yard line. A 12th round draft pick from William Jewell, who is built like an Adonis.
Got some great names on this team. Scoop Gillespie, Louis Lips, Wedgie Thompson. Almost like a jazz group.
That's the Brown lowest scoring total in the league prior to today. And
update that. That looks a lot better, doesn't it?
I'm sure the Retigliano is trying to climb that mountain. 9 yards, 2nd and 1.
That's pleasant music here in Cleveland.
Gillespie again, and he has a first down at the 27-yard line. Clock running, 5:38 left. We go to New York.
Dick, they've got a good one going in Buffalo. Pat Ryan has thrown 3 touchdown passes to Wesley Walker for the Jets, but Joe Ferguson strikes back for Buffalo, 32 yards to Julius Dawkins. 28-26 New York, about 3 minutes to go, 4th quarter.
Well, that Pete Axel made some unusual picks on NFL 84. He picked Buffalo, he picked the Browns. So far, he's doing all right. Woodley saying, "Somebody help me." And it's broken up by Clinton Burrell, number 49, and a flag down.
A very late flag went down on the far side of the field.
Did Woodley cross the line of scrimmage, I wonder?
Woodley doing a great job of avoiding the sack there. Looked like there was no way he could get away from Banks, who'd come in hard from the outside. Well, they're examining the play. You may be right, Dick. I don't know what they're called, but the flag did come down late. Yes, absolutely right.
Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Rams have won at Cincinnati 24-14, so the Bengals are 0-4. The Rams 2-2. Mike Gooman finished the scoring for the Rams with a 43-yard kickoff return.
Number 19, offense, loss of down, 2nd down.
That hurts. That hurts. Woodley, I think, willing to sacrifice the pass, zipped it in, hoping he'd get it there. Burrell did a good job of breaking it up, but it didn't matter anyway as he was over the line.
New Orleans leading the Cardinals by a field goal in the 4th quarter. Minnesota now an 8-point lead at Detroit.
Audible. They got the blitz coming.
By Gillespie, and the rookie is to the 19-yard line, short of a first down, but a terrific effort by both passer and receiver.
Did a good job of what we call window dressing the defense, making it look like an all-out blitz. You see people moving around on the line of scrimmage. Actually, only one linebacker coming. Woodley rolls out, a la Tarkington on that play, a reverse roll, and Scoop Gillespie gets up and gets the football, breaks away from Cousineau to get a little extra yardage. They've got a 3rd and short. Very big down for these Steelers.
3rd and between 2 and 3 yards for the first down. Clock running, 4:10 left. Gillespie. A flag is down, and Gillespie dropped for a loss. Eddie Johnson spearheading that charge. Number 51, holding against the Steelers.
Now that's still a choice you're going to have to make. The Steelers well inside field goal range. You march them back 10.
Retigliano said, take the penalty.
Yeah, there's Sam. He said, let's get them back. Now it's critical.
Number 52, offense, still 3rd down.
All right. Sam says we want to shut them out on this drive if we can. They need a field goal and a touchdown to tie. 2 touchdowns to go ahead. This becomes a very, very big play for the Steelers offensively.
Penalty against Webster. You hate to talk about Webster only on a penalty. Atlanta obviously going to beat Houston. He's been an all-pro, 11th year, never missed a game for the Steelers. Sometimes you overlook the fact. Here's one of the really great players. He almost went to Green Bay as a coach for Boris Gregg, but elected to stay with Pittsburgh. 3rd and 12. Incomplete to Thompson. Woodley under pressure. Now the long field goal try.
Number 57, Clay Matthews, from that outside linebacking position, bursting in there. Woodley did a good job of saving the sack. And again, that's the most important thing you could do there. At least now a chance at a field goal.
It'll be a long one for Anderson, around 47 yards. Anderson kicked one 46 yards in the third quarter. And Woodley's numbers quite in contrast. We started this telecast telling you the great numbers for Woodley and miserable figures for McDonald. They have reversed today. Penalty flag down. Anderson's kick is good. Now we'll see if it counts.
Someone moving in there. Yes, Larry Brown, I believe.
Oh my.
Illegal formation offense.
Now, not moving, but maybe lined up again too far back. And we'd said the officials have been really tough on the alignment of the defense or the offensive tackles. Let's look and see. You see how far back the right tackle 79 is. His helmet must fall within the zone created by the numbers of the center. They felt he was too far back.
Well, this is interesting. Anderson's kick would have been good from 5 yards farther back, but rather than risk another chance, which would be over 50 yards and certainly test Anderson's limits, now the Steelers, who must score on this possession, trailing 20-10, will go for it. 4th down and 17.
That's an interesting call by Chuck Noll, isn't it?
Because Anderson had plenty of distance on that last field goal try. Almost looks as if Noll knows something we don't. Throwing long, and there's no one there. And the Browns take over on downs, and Cleveland apparently will celebrate its first win of the year.
3:45 on the clock. Retigliano himself out on the field. I think he's starting to feel a little surge of adrenaline here. A little bright sunshine in that dark tunnel that Cleveland's been walking through for the last 3 weeks.
Down for the Steelers came on defense. Washington's interception. Mike Pruitt freshening up his individual statistics as he rumbles for 7 more. A final score: Atlanta bombs Houston 42-10. So Cincinnati and Houston remain winless. Atlanta's now 2-2. World Series October 9th. Who will it be? Some are saying maybe a renewal of the 45 series, the Cubs and the Tigers. Someone said, well, how about the San Diego Padres, who have had such a great season under Dick Williams? And who knows, it might be Minnesota, Kansas City, or even the Angels who are involved. Pruitt, no gain this time. It'll be 3rd and 2. Gary Dunn and Dwayne Woodruff on the tackle. I think the camera coverage has been about as outstanding as any telecast we've had, Merlin. I want to thank all the men and women involved today. Gee, we've just been inside every play.
We've also had some good sounds to share with them as we've listened to some of the hits as well as seen them.
Bill Peronella, what a job he's done. Larry Cirillo, our producer. Ted Nathanson calling the shots, our director. 2:30 left. First down here for the Browns, and it's all over. And Pruitt has the first down at the 45.
I think we started out by saying in a blood match like this, a rivalry as intense as this one, throw out the standings, throw out the statistics. These two teams have changed roles.
Desperation is a wonderful incentive, as Chuck Noll and the Steelers have learned watching the Browns. They lead by 10 at the 2-minute mark. And now, here comes another fantastic finish.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes. 1980, in overtime, Detroit's Eddie Murray kicks off to Dave Williams of the Bears. Williams grabs it and starts up the middle. He breaks through the wall and cuts left at the 30. Heading for the sidelines, Williams sails past the 40 and turns on the speed that carries him untouched into the end zone for the fastest overtime win in NFL history.
When of this '84 season. And at the start of this telecast, we said the pressure on the shoulders of that man Rutigliano. Some were asking for his scalp here in Cleveland, and he knew that an '04 start would all but end early this season. But a win would get him right back in the race, only one game behind. To the 50, and apparently it'll be academic from here. The Steelers do call a time at the 1:53 mark and have 2 more remaining. But when they did not score, when the penalty nullified the Anderson field goal that would have made it 20-13, therein finished the hopes of the Steelers today. Paul McDonald seems so soft-spoken, intelligent, kind of fool you, but he can stand in there and take the punishment, and he's taken it both emotionally and physically. We'll get his reaction after the game if we have time. Meanwhile, Mike Pruitt ramming his way to the 45-yard line before David Little can stop him.
Dick, there's another streak that will be continued today. The Steelers, for some reason, have not played well on natural turf. On the natural grass of a field like this, they'll be 2 out of the last 10 on natural turfs. Now that's interesting. Certainly a number of those games came here, and also a couple of games out in Los Angeles against the Raiders. But that's something to be considered when we look at them in the future.
Time running out, and Pruitt has carried the ball the last 5 times for Cleveland. 3rd and a yard. Pruitt again. Slugs his way to the 43, a first down, and the clock is at the 1-minute mark. Our thanks to Joe Costanza and company, but first he has worked out these numbers. We started with Pittsburgh ahead by 2 full games, but Cleveland now at 1-3 is back in at only 1 behind the Steelers. Cincinnati and Houston 0-4. Our thanks also to John Betchko and Pete Alvin, Don Drevis, and Gary Chulik for their superb help today. They'll meet again on December 9th in Pittsburgh. These 2 arch rivals. Pruitt carrying for the 7th consecutive time. And the clock running, and apparently that will be the final play of the game, and the Cleveland Browns fans celebrate.
Day that began in desperation will end in triumph for the Cleveland Browns and Sam Rutigliano. But you said it very well, Dick. There's another game to be played in Pittsburgh, and there's a lot of season left between now and the playoffs.
And you look who Rutigliano sought out, his quarterback, Paul McDonald. McDonald, he stayed with him. Fans wanted a change. Brian Sipe was the quarterback here. He left. McDonald got the job. Disappointing 0-3 start, but he played very well, particularly in the second.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is aglow tonight on a cool, damp October 1st evening. From a camera situated on Mount Washington, looking across the Monongahela and the Allegheny, which form the Ohio River, this is a view of the Golden Triangle, the heart of Pittsburgh. This city, so proud of its ongoing renaissance and equally proud of its Steeler football team, troubled though it might be. And tonight, for the 97th consecutive game, Three Rivers Stadium with a capacity of 59,000 is sold out. And we are live from Three Rivers Stadium, ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Bud Light. The best has a taste all its own, satisfying but never filling. So ask for Bud Light. And by Nissan, high mileage, high quality cars and trucks for 50 years. Available at your Datsun dealer. By Wagner, the right tool for painting. And by Hilton, when American business hits the road, American business stops at Hilton. Hello again, everyone. I'm Frank Gifford, along with O.J. Simpson and Don Meredith, looking forward to what should be a fun game. As we pan down on the field, the Pittsburgh Steelers are set to kick off. Gary Anderson will get the game underway. We're dropping deep now to pick up the deep man for the Cincinnati Bengals. Stanford Jennings back there. He's the man they like to see get the football. A rookie from Furman. He has the speed. Gary Anderson set to kick. We are underway. This is Jennings in the end zone. The Cincinnati Bengals are 0-4 on this season. They cannot figure out what has gone wrong. They had a 3-1 on preseason. They thought they had it all pulled together behind this veteran quarterback who is still here in his 14th year, one of the fine quarterbacks in the game. Has a couple of NFL records already to his credit. He is a streaky passer, but he has been troubled. Last week in a loss to the Rams, 17 of 31, only 143 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Kenny Anderson, 6 interceptions in the last 2 games. Fires quickly over the middle. And it goes out to M.L. Harris, who sees a lot of duty, along with Chris Collinsworth. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense, there it is. They are missing one key ingredient tonight, and it is a key ingredient. That would be Jack Lambert. As you can see, David Little, a 4th-year man out of Florida, starts for Jack Lambert, who still is being troubled by a dislocated toe he suffered several weeks ago. The secondary has been realigned. Rick Woods, the free safety, has been set down after a disappointing game a week ago against Cleveland. Eric Williams is in there. Anderson back on 2nd down and 3. Gets the ball out to James Brooks, who, of course, was acquired in the offseason for Pete Johnson from San Diego. Donnie Shell takes Brooks out of bounds. He is over the 1st down marker, however, and it'll be 1st down Cincinnati. James Brooks is kind of a mystery with this Cincinnati team. He did so much, and all of it really, for the San Diego Chargers. Very versatile, O.J. He is just not getting the football. He has not been on the receiving end of the passes either.
Well, he's led the NFL in total offense 2 of the last 3 years for a running back.